Hey guys, this is Seth Garbage from Pink Titan channel reporting live. We are back with another Destiny 2 stream, and I am very happy to let you know that Shadowkeep has dropped, and I am loving every minute of it. If you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe. Push that bell button with all your might, and push that subscribe button with all your might as well. I'm going to just show you some things that are definitely a lot of changes happened in this particular DLC. I think that the changes are actually pretty good, but there's a lot of stuff that we need to keep up with now that is totally different. If you were a Destiny 1 player, then a lot of this stuff is kind of secondhand nature, but if you're not, I'm here to just run through some of the things that have changed. The first thing that I want to show you guys is Armor 2.0. Now, as you can see, I am a 911 light level, and they've maxed out this season with a 960 light level, so you're definitely going to have to do a lot of grinding on this to make sure that you are extremely powerful. Unfortunately, what they did do to the game, I'll just show you on the map very quickly. If you look at the destinations, your map is going to be very full with all the perfect planets in orbit, but as you can see, let's just for example, I'll go to Nessus. You'll see here that your regular, maybe this is not a good place to go. You'll see here, let's go to the Tangled Shore just to show you. You'll see here that everything is kind of maxed out to 750. So any kind of activity that you did before, whether it's a strike, whether it's a campaign, you're definitely going to make sure that you're 750 level, because anything below that you're really going to struggle. One really good thing that was unexpected, a nice unexpected bonus from the update, is anything that you had in your vault previously that was anything lower than 750 now was bumped up automatically to 750. So you guys are probably familiar with my vault. I do have a good amount of exotics here, some of which are above 750 and some of which are not, but things that we got from the last season, for example, the Vest of Optimacy here, or the Plate of Optimacy, when it started out as 0 in Season 5, now everything was bumped up to 750. So it's a really good gift that Bungie kind of gave us here, because now all of your gear is pretty much up to 750, even if you didn't have it before. So that's a really good thing. So going back to Armor 2.0, so as you could see here on the kind of right hand corner right below the power level, you'll see these things, of these stats basically that weren't here before. So you've got your mobility, you've got resilience, you've got your recovery, and we are pretty familiar with this. Now they have discipline, intellect, and strength, which was returned to us from Destiny 1, if you could remember that. Now, Armor 2.0 is actually quite simple. If you're going to check your armor stats here, you're going to notice over here as I hover, it says upgrade armor, right? So you'll see that in order to upgrade it, you're going to need 500 glimmer and you need 2 legendary shards. Now, if you haven't already, please make sure that you're actually playing the game to stock up on some of these things, because you're really going to need a lot of these materials. So you'll notice here that this says 3 energy and it's arc, right? Some of it is random, some of it is void, some of it is solar, some of it is arc, so you can actually kind of see it. As soon as I apply, right now you can see it at number 3, and as soon as I apply an upgrade, you'll see the energy go up to 4, and then I do it one more time and you can see the energy go up to 5. This is going to allow you to equip these particular slots here, and the numbers at the top represent how much energy that it's actually going to take up. Alright, so this isn't really that clear if you don't mess around with it. That's why I'm here. That's why you're watching. So for this particular one, this is the Bio Monetizer. So it says here it costs 1 energy, and when you equip this, anytime you defeat Hive, it'll grant extra glimmer. So for this one, for the next one, I chose to use a enhanced hand cannon loader. So this one only costs 1 again, and it greatly increases the reload speed of hand cannons. Now this one is empty, so because I have, I think, 2 energy left, because I have this 1 energy here that I'm using as a Dreambane mod, I can actually put something extra here. So instead of kind of like wasting all of your energy, and if you don't have enough energy, it's literally going to tell you that you can't equip it and that you don't don't have enough energy. So I'm going to go over here to enhance bow loader, and then it says here that it only costs 1, so I can actually equip it, and all 4 of these nodes are now equipped, and they have slots that you can add to it. So in order for you to kind of increase this, again, now you see anything above energy level 5 is going to require a lot more materials. Now it goes up to 1,000 glimmer and 3 legendary shards and 1 enhancement core. Now, speaking about enhancement cores, the good thing is that in order for you to infuse now to increase your power level for each weapon, they don't require you to use enhancement cores anymore. However, this is the unfortunate thing, okay? Now we have these new materials called upgrade modules, and these can be found by looking at Banshee in the tower here, and as you can see down here, it's kind of like a Lego looking piece here, and in order for you to actually buy it, this is where the enhancement cores now are going to come in handy. So they didn't get rid of enhancement cores like we were hoping, but they did actually infuse it into something that we can use. So now the only thing that you're going to require for you to upgrade armor and weapons, so let's say for example I have a quick fang here and it's 888 power level. So if I go here to my regular weapon mods and I want to infuse, now it's only going to cost 1 upgrade module. It's a double-edged kind of sword, no pun intended here. The reason being is because upgrade modules are actually pretty easy to get. So another thing that they did here, which I'm going to kind of show you just very quickly, is that if you go to your ghost and you look at your menu here, they have quests now in this particular menu. So there's 2 sides here. They have the quests on the left, which show you everything that you need to do as far as the gameplay is concerned, and then we have the bounties here on the right. Now the really good thing that they did was, this season, since it's the season of the Undying, you can all go all the way to the right where it says seasons, and now you can rank up again. So I'm really glad that they bought this back, because it really incentivizes players to actually play the game. Right now I'm only level 22, but this doesn't mean that I'm level 22 as a guardian. This means I'm level 22 in the season. Each time you do a level and you go up a level, you will be rewarded with all of these loots. So as you can see from the check marks, I've pretty much claimed everything here from the season, from level 1, and then right now I'm currently level 22. How do I get increases? How do I go up in rank? It's very simple. You can either go back to the menu and you can do some of these quests, which I will show you, and each of these quests, when you do them, for example this new Vanguard bounty, when you do them, you can actually gain experience and bright dust. Now this is just for this particular bounty, but all the other bounties give regular rewards that we remember. So for this one, with Banshee's weekly bounties, instead of them rewarding you with enhancement cores, now they reward you with random materials and an upgrade module, which you will then use to infuse your favorite gear. And if you're a player like me who gets very comfortable, for example, using hand cannons, pulse rifles, I know that you guys noticed last time that I was using the bygones and I was using trackless waste. So those weapons are still the same, but I've upgraded them, so to speak, and I've infused them still, and they have their main stats. The only difference is that now they're actually on par with the rest of my gear. Okay, very quickly, I just want to share with you guys that I was actually able to get the sweet business catalyst here, and this took me a very long time to do, but there are easy ways for you to get this catalyst, because with this particular catalyst you would have to kill enemies in a succession of 4 and more. So the best place to do that to me was the moon, because they just kind of threw hive at you, and also ascendant plane weeklies as well. Okay, so that's one bounty, that's one catalyst I was able to get, and I was also able to get the Sunshot catalyst as well, and this one was really great, because now, before, this weapon was still pretty good. They did nerf it a little bit, obviously, right? But before, this particular hand cannon had Sunburn and it had Sun Blast, and basically any target that you kill with this explode with solar energy. Now that it creates orbs, when you do that really huge blast, it's going to give you a good amount of super energy, and it's going to make you get orbs. Okay, just to kind of give you guys a sneak peek, in this season, since it is the season of the Undying, you do have access to new weapons. So this is a brand new weapon that I got that I just kind of masterworked today. It's called the Arcologic. This is has become easily one of my favorite auto rifles. If you're like me, I am very comfortable with auto rifles. Having that rapid fire blast is going to help someone who doesn't really have aim like me to basically stay consistent with my DPS. So this particular weapon, to me, it is up with handling. It has really high stability, and it's an arc weapon, and it kind of has that honey badger look from Call of Duty Ghosts. You know, really cool stuff for me to kind of go back with here. So as you can see here, I still have some of my original weapons. I am going to be rocking the Arc Strider class with the bottom tree Way of the Wind, which is a really underrated and excellent part of the Arc Strider subclass. The thing that I'm heavily relying on is the the focus breathing here. So here, the focus breathing, sprinting recharges your dodge ability and increases maximum sprint speed. This is awesome for a weapon such as, let me just kind of show it to you, the Cerberus here, for example, because I actually just got this catalyst not even a week ago, and I'm going to be working on it with you guys today. So right now I'm about 43% done with it, and if you notice, this is a really good auto rifle. I think it's a little underrated because it does kind of have a lot of kickback to it. The stats are pretty low, but for having something like the because the reload speed is so low, the Way of the Wind and your excuse me, your Markman's Dodge basically reloads your weapon, and it keeps you basically able to have that continuous reload without actually having to waste time. All right, so the prime engrams do drop at the same rate. So I just wanted to share with you guys, my current level is about 912. So the funny thing is that you'll notice that I do have a bit of blue gear here, and the blue gear does continuously go up as you go up in light level. So these drops are going to be very frequent, and unfortunately, if you're like me again, who gets very attached to armor and very attached to weapons, you're going to basically get a lot of these loot drops that are going to continuously be one above what you already have, and that's okay, because as long as you keep switching it out, you're going to keep climbing in a power level. So right now I'm about at 912, which is pretty good. Perfect. I got a new Prodigal mask, not my favorite helmet, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do here is very simple. I'm going to kind of dismantle the old one. I still get legendary shards, I still get gunsmith materials, and I'm gonna equip it, and I am a little more than I was before. Not much, obviously. Okay, I do have the Celestial Nighthawk that I infused, still have the Shards of Galanor that I infused, I have the Raiden Flux, I have the Gwissent Vest for the Void Blades, and I still have the Stompies and the Orpheus Rig, which you should not leave the vault without. And as you can see, I still have my staple weapons that I like to exchange for my primary, my secondary, and my heavy. And, you know, this is my regular loadout, and I use my loadout based on the bounties that are given to me. Very quickly, just speaking about bounties, I'm going to do another stream this weekend, really focusing on Crucible, but today, I just wanted to focus more on the changes that Shadowkeep has given us in Destiny 2, and to show you really quickly another change that they added to, which are bounties. So, my Vanguard rank is pretty high because I do nothing but strikes, and I've done all of these bounties. So the first bounties are weekly, so they're the first two, and they vary week by week, obviously. So this one first, it comes with arc damage, and you have to do 3 strikes, and then the second one comes with void damage, and then you have to do 3 strikes again. So you can actually do these bounties in tandem, which will help you reap a lot of those benefits. And again, when you do the bounties, you are rewarded with experience, you're rewarded with Bright Dust, some Glimmer, and some Vanguard Tactician token. You will notice a very, very huge increase in Glimmer. So what they did was they maxed it out to 250. I thought it was 1 million. I think 1 million would have been great, or even maybe 500,000, but they did cap it at 250,000 Glimmer, which I think should be beneficial. And then, of course, these Vanguard strikes also vary as the days go by, and this last one they give you are additional bounties, which are all random. So you can actually click random bounties and you can get a bunch of them. And then what they do is they limit them based on how many bounties you have in your quest. So right now I have 26 in total, and I have about 4, 7, 9. So I have about 9 Vanguard bounties here, which I am going to make sure that I do. And the reason why I like to focus, you guys know that I like to do strikes. They're my preferred activity. But just to give you a quick example, because I'm level 911 right now, so I can cash in my Vanguard tokens, and my drops are still really, really high. So this Vanguard engram that I got, this random weapon, will be 906, and I claim it, and look, I have a new cape now. So, and if I just kind of go here, even if I don't want it, because it's a lower level, it's a 2 levels low than what I have already, I could just dismantle it and still get my 4 legendary shards and my gunsmith materials. All right, so if you have any questions, guys, please make sure you hit the comment section. Just hit me with any kind of requests you may have. Without further ado, I would love to take you guys to the moon, and this is really the pièce de résistance with the new kind of location here, and there is a lot of stuff going on in the moon. So the first thing you would see here are the VEX offensives, which I am going to show you in a few minutes. The VEX offensive is actually something that they imported again from Destiny 1 and the Black Garden. Really fun stuff if you just like to kind of shoot stuff and gain loot. It's kind of like a mini raid, and they load you in with about 6 Guardians. So it's really good to have your strike team with you. If you've got friends, pardon me guys, I'm a little stuffy. If you got friends that are online, definitely join up with them. I know that randomly what they do now is they give you added increased experience for having a strike team with you, and it doesn't have to be many people. You could actually just have a strike team of 2. It could be you or one of your friends that are online. The more the merrier, because the more guardians you do have, the more increase of prime engrams, experience, and things like that you could apply to all your gear they give you. So I really am enjoying this new kind of endeavor that Bungie has given us, because again, I think that it really incentivizes people to play. And if you were paying attention to the news close to the announcement of the new Shadowkeep DLC, for about 24 hours, maybe a little more, the servers were down, and when they went back up, it was a high queue time, because this game has actually attracted a lot more players, which I think is really, really good. It will put a strain on the servers, but the more the merrier. So I am on the surface of the moon now, and Eris Morn is your, I guess you could call her your Vanguard representative, so you can actually go to her. She also has a different set of moon bounties. I'm not going to grab them right now because, I've done a lot of these already, and unfortunately, the only rewards that she gives you are filaments and experience, which is okay, but I figured somebody like her from Destiny 1, she was giving you so many good rewards that I feel like they kind of downplayed it here. And then if you kind of move to the left over here, there is this Lectern of Enchantment. Now, in order to actually get this, you need to do the campaign, and I really want to highly encourage players to do the campaign. I haven't done the whole thing, obviously, I'm taking my time, but the Lectern of Enchantment actually gives you other I guess you could call them items that allow you to get better gear. So this one in particular, the Essence of Failure, this is what I use to get my Arc Logic, which is my secondary weapon here. And I'm going to switch to my bow here because the bow is a little better here. And this is a way for you to kind of like get better gear and get moon-based gear. So here they have the Tranquility, which is a sniper rifle for the Essence of Vanity. The Essence of Despair will give you a cloak, and the Essence of Anguish will give you the Stride. So you can exchange filaments here for Phantasmal Fragment here. So you'll get the helium filaments are the rewards, the random kind of I guess you could call them the materials. I'm sorry, the materials you get from the moon, which is from Destiny 1, obviously. And I have about 392. I do like to save these, and then you could exchange 25 of them for Phantasmal Fragments, and then you could then exchange Phantasmal Fragments for Phantasmal Cores. I know it is a lot of stuff. So, and then of course you could get Nightmare Bounty. So, what is a nightmare, you ask? So, here's the thing. Nightmares are actually two things in this game. The first thing that they have called nightmares are these random spawns that they have all around the moon. So I'm going to show you where it is in Sorrow's Harbor very quickly. Nightmares are basically kind of boss battles, I guess you could call them, on steroids. The good thing is that the nightmares actually give you really good loot. So if you look in the corner here, there's this kind of red little thing over here, and it's taking a little time to load. But this is a nightmare, so you guys can all kind of gang up on this. And obviously, since it's a yellow metered boss, it does take a lot for the you know, guardians and regular players to get them down, right? So, and they also have these kind of lackeys that are in the background, and you get these things here called unstable essence, and this unstable essence actually helps you increase your damage for a little bit, and it gives it to you for a good while. So you got about 10 to 20 seconds of increased damage. Unfortunately, I didn't get a good drop for this, but that's what a nightmare is. Okay, that's the first part. Now the second part of what a nightmare is what they did was they replaced the bosses from oh gosh, what do you call these things again? I'm sorry guys, I'm having trouble remembering the names. So here, Lost Sectors, there you go. Sorry guys. So here in particular, I'm right next to the K1 Revelation. So the K1 Revelation here is one of the moon's lost sectors. So these things are a little obscure, they are a little hard to find. And if you don't familiarize yourself with the moon, you're not going to be able to do it. So this area here is not a lost sector. This is an area that just has a random loot chest. So you'll notice that this chest has three kind of symbols, these little insignias here. What happens is you can look at the insignias here, and you have to hit them in order. So this one here looks like a little I, then it's like a little dash here, and it looks like an A. So I have to hit that symbol first, and I saw it right out here. Oh no, actually I didn't. That's the second symbol. So you have to hit these symbols in order. So this is the first one, and you just kind of shoot it. You just shoot it, you damage it, and then it lights up. And then you shoot this one, you damage it, and then that lights up. And then the third one, you shoot it and damage it, and it will light up. And then it will allow you to open the chest. Some of these chests have tiny enemies attached to them. So when you do attempt to open them, and if you don't do it in order, a boss, or whatever you call it, will appear. It's not really a strong enemy per se, but it will kind of inconvenience you. Now for the moon, they changed the way that they had, well, I don't want to say changed, they did it very differently, the way that they did the patrols for other planets. So on the other planets, you could kind of see a glowing thing that you can spot really quick, but for this, they have random, I forgot what this guy's name is, Tolan. So here's for one patrol, and then they kind of did it differently for the other types of patrols. So if you can see the kind of symbol that I'm showing you in the background here, that's another part of the moon that kind of gives you like a little scary kind of essence to it. So here, oh, I lost it. Here, you would be able to actually see it here. So this is a little scary, yeah, and this is where the patrol is, right? And it's in the form of like I guess like a dead guardian, I guess you could call it. And that's where you would get the patrols here. So very quickly, I want you guys to take notice kind of dot on the top of this guy, right? That is actually one of the newest things that they started with a finisher. So when you see that little tiny circle above an enemy, it means that they're weak enough for you to perform a finisher. Now, I'm going to be very honest with you. At first, I was not crazy about it. I thought it was really unnecessary. But I am going to say this: when you're faced with strong enemies, like for example, these are thralls, right? And these thralls, ooh, I'm getting damaged a lot. These thralls have harder, they require harder hits because they're yellow shield, right? But what you can actually do to those... Oh, he disappeared. Crap. What you can actually do to those bosses is when they're weak enough, you don't need to hit them with a melee hit. You can actually hit them with a finisher and it'll kill them instantly. And what Zavala does is he actually will give you a... he will give you a bounty where you have to get 10 finishers or 15 finishers. So it would be really cool of you guys, I think, to do that. All right, so I'm going to show you guys very quickly the VEX Offensive, and then I want to show you guys one of the lost sectors here. Okay, so VEX Offensive is pretty simple, guys. It's pretty straightforward. Now, the only difference is that it is more of a challenge. So you have barrier champions, and they can only be stopped with a barrier mod. And then the first part was a champion's overload, and these overload champions cannot be stopped without an overload piece. Now, what is an overload? Where do you get it? So some of the pinnacle weapons for the VEX, this one in particular is called the Optative. This is your regular run-of-the-mill hand cannon. All right, now this hand cannon does a lot of rounds per minute, and that's why I like it. This particular drop that I have is not too bad. It does have drop mag, and I really need that. And with your slot capabilities here, I actually put a unstoppable hand cannon mod, and these are strong against unstoppable champions. So this particular hand cannon will really help me against any boss that I'm trying to that I'm basically trying to beat in the VEX Offensive. Okay, I'm just going to make some switches here. I'm going to switch to my Outrageous Fortune. Oh, look at that. I am 915 light. That is awesome. All right, so without further ado, let's start this VEX Offensive. I'm going to launch, and we're going to show you guys one of the first really cool things about the moon. All right, just a reminder, guys, make sure you are checking us out on stream. Make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and hit us with any comments that you have during this time. You know, obviously, if you're seeing this in the future, or if you're seeing this on another time that's not a stream, still hit that subscribe, still hit that like, and still hit us with some questions, because we can actually you know, address any of your inquiries. All right, I hope you guys are enjoying the show so far. I've got a few other things that I do want to show you guys when we come back from this VEX Offensive. Definitely want to take a look at the lost sectors, and definitely want to take a look at some other stuff as they concern Shadowkeep. All right. So as you can see, it does allow about 6 guardians to play, which is good. So you know, I guess you could call it like a little mini raid. So you can actually gear up with some, you can actually team up with other guardians, and you can have a lot of fun here. All right, this is very challenging, I'm not gonna lie. Obviously one of the biggest reasons is that because it takes a very high light level. It's also very challenging because they throw a lot of enemies at you in these particular I guess exercises, so to speak. So you still want to maintain that same strategy that I've been talking to you guys about. You still want to make sure that you are working in tandem with your teammates. You want to make sure that you're not quitting prematurely. You want to make sure that you are helping as much as possible in the form of, you know, resurrecting guardians, you know, making sure that you're putting drops. If you're a Titan, you want to make sure you throw that rally barricade for my auto rifle people. If you're a Warlock, you want to have your rifts handy. You know, unfortunately, hunters don't really have any of those things, and you guys are probably wondering why I switched to a hunter. And you've seen me stream a lot with my Titan, and one of the reasons, honestly, that I've just started to invest more as a hunter is really I love the speed. The speed is really, really good. Hunters are very reliable, and if you have more than 3 or 4 hunters in a strike team, you're going to see fast-paced action, you're going to see quick movements, so you're going to see things getting done, you know, rather quickly. So here's the Black Garden, loaded up pretty quickly. You have objectives that you need to go to as a team. Unfortunately, right now I only see about 3 people active. Oh, the other guys are on their way. So the first thing you do, I don't like to jump the gun a bit. I like to let the other guys kind of take the lead because I'm not one of the best players. So you'll notice, though, with this hand cannon, this has a little box, a tiny, tiny little box underneath the void symbol, and that is your overshield, you know, kind of weapon here. Right? Very quick reload speed. There's a lot of action. Already there's a lot of enemies. I'm going to whip out my Cerberus because I am trying to work on the catalyst here. Alright, and of course I'm trying to make sure that I go and I didn't do it in time. I want to resurrect my friends, and if, you know, again guys, just, you know, be team players. These things are really, really good, right? So this particular activity is timed. So what you want to do is you want to kill as many enemies as possible and as fast as possible, because if you run out of time, you are not going to be able to actually finish the activity. Alright, so they don't have a lot of modifiers in this. I haven't noticed any, but again, this is actually pretty early, so it's very, very kind of tricky to tell. I am more than likely going to end up switching my gear because I need something a little more fast-hitting. This would be a perfect time to actually show you. I'll work with the trackless waste, and I'll rock my sun cannon, because I think the sun cannon is actually really good for this. I don't know, maybe it's me, but I feel like they actually, so that's an overlord character, so I am doing damage to him, but I'm not doing as much damage as I should be. Those overlord characters are very, very hard to beat. Alright, and you'll notice that I keep getting this VEX chassis components. These things I can actually take to Ikora to exchange for gear. Right, you see I'm only doing like double and triple digit damage, and I should be doing a lot more. Alright, I'm going to see if I could. That's not bad. See, and again, that's why I love my hunter, because look at that, a quick reload, and I am back in the game with my grenade launcher. So as you guys can see, they throw a crap ton of enemies at you. So if you have something that clears a lot of enemies, you really, really want to kind of utilize that. For VEX, me in particular, I love to use arc weapons for VEX because I feel like it's a little better. I'm going to pop my super. Now you may notice that in my super, you actually have meters. They have meters now attached to your supers. This is actually I consider it a nerf, to be really honest with you, because what they actually did was it takes now a really, really long time for your super to charge. Okay, now here's the thing you got to remember about these VEX offensive. These little void craniums are the only things that you can use to destroy these little, I think they're called oracles. If you don't destroy these oracles quickly, they will kill you. And the only thing that you can use to destroy the oracles are these little cranium things. Any weapon is going to have no effect. So you see here I'm shooting it and it says immune. And again, guys, this is a team effort kind of gameplay here. So all of them were destroyed. I'm going to kind of resurrect my friend here. And then we are on to the next... Oh, well, they're not destroyed. That's my mistake. Alright, you want to watch out for those little mud puddle things. Alright, those glowing little Vexes are going to be the ones that are going to give you those, what do you call it? Those Vex craniums. Right? So all of them are complete. Our first objective is good, and we are moving forward. So this is one part of the Black Garden that we just started. You guys can see it's pretty self-explanatory. I think that this is really high-paced action, even though there's, you know, breaks in between. And of course, as soon as you complete your objective, you get your loot, which everybody loves. Don't get upset if you still see that you're getting blue gear. That blue gear is actually still very high. That blue gear will drop anywhere upwards of 900, obviously depending on your light level. Your light level is really contingent on the gear that you have, which really hasn't changed from Destiny, obviously. But you really want to work. You know, this is the season of the Undying is really a season where we're grinding a lot. You know, and you know, Guardians, you know, players of this game are not a stranger to the kind of grinds that you know are required for weapons, but I think they have you just do a little bit more. To me, it feels like a cop-out in a way, but it's also a way for you to keep playing the game, and you know, obviously that's something that the company wants. So I think it is thoroughly enjoyable. And I think that the challenge is still really good. It's still really appropriate, right? So you got a lot of these really strong, you know, enemies here, and I just want to kind of... It doesn't seem like I'm doing a lot of damage, and I'm really not. And it's probably because I don't have the right things equipped. I like to wait till somebody reses me, because if you do res... really, guy? Wow, thank you. Okay, thank you very much. Because you really don't know where you're going to kind of end up when you res. Right, again, I'm going to kind of do my little reload trick here. That's an Overlord Minotaur, so I really need to have a weapon that has an Overlord shield breaker to it. So you'll do damage, but you won't do considerable damage. Right, so those punches and things like that are really... kind of. And this Arc Strider class, that little shield that you see here is what makes me kind of invisible to damage and stuff like that. So you can constantly kind of do this little circle tap thing, and you can essentially be impervious to damage. Oh, the thing ran out. Oh, how appropriate. Okay. Whoa, okay. Not doing the best performance here, guys, but that's okay. This is more informative than anything. Alright, as you can see, my guys are doing pretty consistent. I haven't gotten a chance to check a lot of their gear yet. Usually, you are matched with players that are a similar level to you. Obviously, you're going to have players that are a little more powerful, so it's I look at it as inspiration for me to kind of, you know, model myself after, so to speak. Yeah, it's not doing a lot of damage, and I don't think this is the right gun to use. I'm going to be really honest. So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to change it to the Cold Hearts. Cold Hearts are really good. Unfortunately, they require special ammo, but that's okay. So we got about 50% done. Oh, good. Right, and boom, auto reload. So here, they actually do a good bit of damage. And this particular Cold Heart actually creates orbs on multi-kills, so that's another really good thing. Much better than the Sunshot, okay? It's still, you know, a really serious enemy, so I'm still not doing as much damage as I would like, which is okay. Right. Excellent. Sorry about the noise, guys. Got a lot of construction going on, and that's the haps when you're in New York City. All good, though. It won't interfere with the action that's taking place right now. I'd really love to hear your guys' favorites and what you use and what you don't use. It's a really nice way to kind of compare and contrast. Because I didn't start this game as a hunter. I actually started this game as a warlock. One of the reasons why I started as a warlock was because they actually have healing rifts, and I felt like that was something really cool. But as I, you know, kind of went on in the games, I was shown the light, so to speak, no pun intended, with Titans, and I think Titans are still probably some of the best characters. Okay, man, these guys are not playing. Damn. Yeah, these things really require you to be a high level. I think it's anywhere upwards of 900 light. So again, guys, these activities are not activities that you want to take lightly. You know, and I'm not the only one that's you know, that's dying in this game, so doesn't make me feel any better, but still doesn't make me feel bad at least. Alright, supers are probably the best way to go. And this guy, whoa, damn, man, they are targeting me, man. We got 30 seconds to defeat a few enemies. 98%. That is not good. Not good at all. Probably not our best performance, which kind of sucks. So if you notice on the kind of left-hand corner, it says focus breathing. As I'm running, my dodge ability is recharging at a very, very high rate. And that dodge ability is going to be the very thing that actually helps me reload my weapons with quickness. Yeah, we're probably going to have to start this all over because this is not good. And I think the fact that the other Guardians are not participating, I think it's really just 3. So this is really why, guys. Oh, so you just... Oh, I see. They don't make you start over. You just don't get the loot, which kind of sucks. It's kind of a slap in the dilly. I mean, a slap in the face. Who said that? Nothing. So yeah, my focus breathing is still charging, and it is now maxed. So just to kind of show you what it is, this is my auto reload, and then it kind of goes back to nothing. And then as my focus breathing starts with my heavy running, the recharge rate is actually pretty significant. Now, if you have something like the Frosties, which are basically the Stompies in another kind of way, your Frosties, when you run, it helps you charge all of your abilities very, very fast. Damn, so there's a lot of people that quit, so there's only 4. That sucks, dude. Okay. Hope you guys are enjoying the show nonetheless. If we had a little bit of, you know, some better dedicated players, I think it would be a little better, but that's okay. I believe that this is the final area. This one went a little fast because we didn't get the other bonus. So this is something I find very interesting. This flag here is actually used for raids, but since it's here, it maxes out when you grab it your heavy ammo and your secondary ammo. So I am good to go, actually. And I think we're just waiting for one other person, I think. Let me see. Let me do some thanking people. I don't know if I should start it. There's one more. Oh, we you know, the bad thing about these kinds of activities, unfortunately, is that you know, you can't do it with just a few people. You really have to do it with the maximum amount of people. It really makes it makes the biggest difference between success and failure, honestly. I don't mean to be that, you know, cut and dry about it, but it's the truth. So a overlord something will come out of this VEX Gate. Yep, that's him. Oh, he's the gatekeeper. Speaking of gatekeepers, there's another feature about this game that I definitely have to touch on with you guys. Don't want to say anything inappropriate. Obviously, you'll notice that he has a shield that is immuning my bullets. So, in order for us to get down a shield, what do you think we have to do? Hint, hint, hint. We have to get those silly little craniums from those downed glowing minotaurs, and you have to shoot them at his shield until it gets it down. So, a lot of mechanics here that are at play. If you're, you know, basically used to it, I think you should be able to you know, get it done, so to speak. So that's one of the glowy things that I want to target, and I want to use my cold heart here because that is the best thing for me. So his cranium drops here, I grab it, and then I aim it. And as you can see, it's finally doing damage to the shield. Okay. Now that blast does do damage to the Vex, the lower enemies as well. But you really want to use it to focus on the shield, because it really is going to be the only thing to help you bring that thing down. No other damage is going to... No other damage, whether it's void, whatever, no other damage is going to do anything to it. And these little... Oh, Jesus Christ. These little Cyclops things, you want to get them down quick because they are one-shot kill. So that's a really big problem. You know, this is embarrassing because, you know, the team here, they're just not solid. You know, and I hate to criticize people, but
Look at this. No one is being a team player. No one is rezzing. No one is doing anything. All these guys need to be destroyed. See? That's strategy. Then you focus on the other guys. Okay, see? Now, this is much better. And again, they just keep spawning a crap ton of enemies, so you really want to stay on the up and up. Right. Okay, much better. So now we get to damage him. Popping my super, and you can only do this for about 20-something seconds, so you want to make sure that you take advantage of it. So I'm just going to kind of mash my Arc Strider thing here, and you're going to just want to kind of attack him as much as you can. And I know that I'm moving around a lot, but it's really hard to keep, you know, keep those hits consistent. So, and as you can see here, I mean, we got him down a good amount. Just damn it. So right when he, you know, redoes his shield, the network node kind of activates. I got a whole bunch of loot that I got to grab here, a whole bunch of ammo, which is excellent. Got a whole bunch of orbs of light here. 10 paces, not bad. I'm going to res my friend here. Always res your teammates. I cannot stress that enough. I mean, I just think it's so inconsiderate. You know, there's only 5. Is there 5 of us? Oh, no, there was 6 of us. You know, and look at how much damage people are sustaining. So, you know, it is really, you know, up to us to keep, you know. All right, I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to kind of shoot him here. All right. Shield is coming down. Unfortunately, it only is temporary. That's why I have to shoot these guys. I'm going to grab the Void Cannon again. I'm going to try to do my best to get him down. Right, it only really lasts a little bit, but, you know, it's really your quick opportunity to capitalize. Right, and again, you know, you can see the hunter is moving really fast. I think he's moving pretty fast. That's how I like my movements, man. Just getting him down. Oh, there we go. Pop my super. Oh, don't have it. That sucks. So if I don't have my super, I guess I could just lob grenades. Thank God my friends have supers, because if not... So you only have about 12 seconds to attack him. So at least, you know, a lot of my teammates are still, you know, able to shoot their super at him, which is awesome. But this is where the strategy comes in, guys. So, you know, time's up. Good thing about this particular activity is that it's not timed. So, you know, we have him down to about way less than half health. So now we just got to capitalize on getting him. Right, I'm using the trackless waste here. I was not a big fan of SMGs, but honestly, you cannot argue with that kind of speed. Whip out the cold hard here. Just laser these asses. Oop, I said a poopy word. Alright. Okay, super is back, so... Gotta love that double jump, huh? Oh, whoop, there is a cranium. Oh, missed it. Yeah, I thought I had him. Come on, res. Come on, guys. Oh, okay, he did get him. Damn, I didn't mean to shoot him. I wanted to shoot the guy. The actual boss. So as you see, guys, like, this seems really chaotic to me, honestly. You know, you gotta call out your targets and stuff like that to make it a little better. To me, it just makes sense. Grab it. Yes. Here we go. Popping that super. Alright, Arc Strider for life. We should be able to get him down in a few seconds. No! I went through his legs. Alright. Come on. We can get him. Alright, here's my quick... Oh my god, how could we not have gotten him? That is just silly. We should have really been able to just kill him on that. Because I feel like we're, you know... Oh, damn it, I hate these damn things. We're just delaying the inevitable. I feel, anyway. A lot of action here. A lot of action to call. A lot of rapid pace, whatever. Beautiful, man. Okay, now the team is getting to, getting solid. Whoa, you just kicked me. How dare you? Whip out that cold heart real quick. Make light work of these guys. Need some special ammo would be nice. There we go. See, teamwork. Teamwork makes the... You fill in the blank. Alright. I know I... Oh, okay. Come on. We got him. Oh, gosh, dude. Dang, man, they got me, man. They are relentless. These enemies are relentless, man. Oh, okay. Too late. Oh, my bad. Alright, his shield should be down by now. Oh, it's not. Okay. It should be... Yes. Now we can definitely get him. Oh, Nova Bomb. Beautiful. Yes. Awesome. Sawsome. Come on, man. You gotta let this guy take a part of the spoils, alright?
Great work.
Okay. Not bad. Not bad. They only give you about 40 seconds to grab your loot, which I feel like, they don't tell you where it is. Damn, I got a lot of good stuff here. Awesome. So I got an alloy mask or a helmet. What is this? Oh, damn. Okay, so I got to delete one of these. So I got an optative, which is basically one of these weapons. Let's see. Let's see what this looks like. I mean, it's always good to look at your rolls to kind of see, what you have. There's still, you're still going to be doing a lot of deleting. 908, is it stronger than... Oh, wow, look at that. This one has Under Pressure, Demolitionist. Okay, so here's what I do, and this is the really good thing. Even though it's only one, I really like this particular roll that I have. So I'll just go and I'll infuse it, and it only costs $1,000. I mean, 1,000 glimmer. So that's one of the really good things that they actually fixed. I know it's not much, but you like to kind of keep things, consistent, I guess. And if you're a guardian, like if you're the kind of guardian that I am with your weapons and stuff like that, I get really comfortable. I get super comfortable with my weapons, so there's certain things that I just have to have and I have to keep with me. And it's I masterworked a few of these, and I try to make sure that I keep with the ones that I actually like. So this one's a little low, so gonna delete it. I still get my dismantle it rather, still get my materials from it, which I think is awesome. I have a duplicate of this, and I will delete that. Dismantle, sorry. And that's pretty much it. There was one thing that I did want to show you that is slipping my mind right now, and I can't remember what it was. Oh, yes, this thing. So, the seasonal artifact that they did now, this is another new feature. When you start to progress with Ikora and with Eris on the moon, you get the Gate Lord's Eye after you defeat one of the Gate Lords, right? So you can literally get these upgrades by doing regular things and bounties, doing things that have to do with the Season of the Undying progression. Now, I don't have any artifact unlocks available, but occasionally you'll get that you have an unlock available and you can give yourself all of these perks. So I have anti-barrier rounds for submachine guns and hand cannons here. That's what I put, and now this enables me to actually use it. So what I also need to do is make sure that I unlock every single one of these, and in the event that you're not satisfied with your rolls with this particular artifact, you can actually reset it. I wouldn't reset it just yet because I'm just kind of getting the hang of some of these perks per se, so you really want to kind of be careful when you do stuff like that. Okay, so for this particular weapon I would have to sacrifice my backup mag, which I really don't want to do. So I am going to keep this as is. Is this masterworked yet? Let me see. It's not masterworked. Okay. It's always good to have these like up from masterwork and stuff like that. You still have to use your enhancement cores and stuff like that. So I'm not going to completely do it just yet because I still want to show you guys the other part. It's not the VEX offensive that I want to do. It is, although it does have something to do with it back on the moon. So, you'll have these little spawn points, not spawn points, you'll have these little invasion spots here, and you'll see them on the map as they kind of flash very lightly. I don't know if you want to kind of make it out very quickly. It's like a little thunder kind of thing. And they are areas that warp a whole bunch of VEX to that particular area. Now, again, if you're a Destiny 1 fan, I'm going to go back on the moon. If you're a Destiny 1 fan, you kind of remember who was where. What I mean by that was when you went to certain destinations, you knew what kind of enemies were on that destination. So for the moon, it was more known for a little bit of Fallen and a lot of Hive. From what I remember, the VEX were not on the moon much, or not at all. The VEX, I think, were mostly on Venus and I think Mars. Obviously, for Shadowkeep, I think what they wanted to do was make the moon playable. Like, I gotta be really honest with you, I'm having a lot of fun. So what I did was the first day that I was able to play it on Tuesday when it released, I really stood on the moon for a good few days straight. Really because I wanted to get a hang of it. I wanted to get a feel for where particular things were located, number one. But also, you get a very, very fast opportunity to level up and to farm really, really good weapons, right? So, here is your regular, moon kind of fiasco thing going on. We've got the Hive here. We've got these areas that have chests, regular stuff here. With the storyline and things like that, you'll have more things exposed to you. I don't want to get into that just yet. So you'll see the helium coils here. They're lit up so you kind of can spot them easily. And where these gates are for the VEX are very, very random. At least that's what I know so far. I could be mistaken. But now you see, I grab my orbs of light, and it doesn't fill up my super meter as fast as it used to. So I mean, you call it a nerf, you could call it, I think that it's. Oh, this actually has the thing attached. Anti-barrier rounds. Wow. I should have used this on the VEX offensive. Wow, that's interesting. Right, so I am kind of trying to get the catalyst for the Cerberus here. So I am gonna be using it primarily for this. But again, you want to be very selective with where you're using your weapons and how, because this particular weapon was not doing me any kind of justice in the VEX offensive, but as you can see here, it's doing pretty well. Okay, so let's take a look at this Hive guy real quick, right? So obviously he's a strong enemy, right? But if I do this and I do the finisher, I don't even need to worry about any of his antics, and the only thing that I felt like would have been a little better, I think that, this is maybe something Bungie could still do because we're still very early in this season. What I think they should do, and you guys let me know if you agree with this or not, if you are doing a certain amount of finishers to whoever, I think that it should add super energy to your super meter. I feel like it would, because to me it doesn't feel like there's a real purpose for the finishers, and this was something that they were really pushing when they were trying to, I guess, garner more interest for what they were going to be doing on the moon. And again, I'm not saying this from a point of complacency, because I do really like what they did. I love the scenery. Obviously, the moon being digitally remastered in 4K, it's even better. But I did feel like the application of the finishers didn't serve a real purpose as far as gameplay. And I felt like, if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time and you do a finisher and you're low on health, you're gonna die, and you're gonna die prematurely, probably at a time where you don't want to. And I know that sounds really weird, but and obviously you can tell from the gameplay right now that there's a lot of activity going on. There's really never a dull moment, which can be a double-edged sword in a way, because you really do kind of want to focus on certain enemies more than others. But I think that I think what they did was an improvement. I really do. And I say that because, again, to me, it's more of incentivizing more people to play who may not have necessarily been attracted to it before, and making the original players work, you know, a little more harder, a little more diligently, a little more with purpose and detail to actually, you know, grind for certain things as far as loot and as far as weapons are concerned as well. So I am really enjoying this. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I hope more than ever you're enjoying the contents of the channel, but you're also enjoying the contents of Shadowkeep as a whole. And I'm going to try to keep you guys kind of abreast of everything. So here's one of the patrols, and I like to have one of the patrols. I like to primarily use the patrols where you're really just, you know, killing enemies. So for this particular one, and you know, as you can notice, here's a VEX. Funny enough. So I'm still getting VEX chassis components. I'm still getting a lot of random things that you're getting from multi-kills and stuff like that.
The server's catalyst yet?
Actually, I didn't, man. It's good to see you, Rodolero, man. Always good to see you, man. When you come online, you get me hyped, man. Let me show you my progress, actually. I just got it. I kind of mentioned that another, I think, 20 minutes prior. Okay, I'm at 51%. It's not too bad. I know with these catalysts, they do tend to, you know, make it kind of, they drag it. They really do. So, you know, this one I know I'm going to have to work for. This particular lost sector I wanted to take you guys is actually in the top. And, you know, the moon's lost sectors are kind of hard to find. This one, you know, you kind of see it on your map. I did go to it already, so it should be marked. And if I didn't show you before, this is something that I actually just found out as well. This one is called K1 Logistics. So when you hover over a lost sector that you have discovered before, the name is there. But if you hover over one that you have not, which I don't know where this one is, actually. And there's one, two, I think there's two that I have not seen yet. So, yeah, that's my fault for not being consistent and diligent in my endeavors. But alas, I'll make sure that I include you guys in all of my discoveries. So, you know, again, you know, talking about the aesthetics of the maps here, I really do enjoy the work that they did in detail, and those little details to me are a really big deal, because they make the game playable. And I'm going to be very honest with you. Again, I'm kind of showing my true colors here. I get scared from everything. So, you know, to me, the moon is like a perfect place because it is super scary. It's dark. It's dank. It's like, you know, all right, man, go get your food, man. You know, hopefully I'll still be on. You know, I really appreciate you tuning in. So, you know, what I find funny, you know, about these sectors, you know, these particular sectors that they changed, all of them are going to be like this. Just going to show a finisher to you. All of them are going to have a shit ton of enemies, but they're all going to have the boss that you fight, essentially. They're called nightmares, and you fight a pair of them. A few pairs of them, I should say. I think you fight maybe 2 or 3. And that's how you unlock the lost sector loot, okay? This one is a little weird because it kind of has these little upstairs areas, and, you know, obviously, again, you notice that there is so many enemies. I'm going to kind of share a grenade with you. You could use that. And again, I think that it's really, really good because any of the catalysts that you get that you're having a lot of trouble with, the moon is going to be a perfect place to do it. One of the lost sectors that I did helped me to do the Sweet Business Catalyst, and I was just so hyped. And they actually increased, I'll show you guys in a few minutes, they increased the magazine size from, I think it was 99 to 150. So you're talking about a giant, call it a minigun for argument purposes. You know, you're talking about a giant chain gun with 150 rounds. And then what they do is when you get the catalyst, if you have the gun equipped, if you have the Sweet Business currently equipped, you can, anytime you run over white primary ammo, your magazine is automatically loaded again. I mean, it is bizarre the way that they did this. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and show it to you guys because I think that the suspense is killing us, right? So here it is. I got my sweet business, and it is at very high level. I got it up to about 910 light. As you can see, I'm a little low right now with ammo, but as you can see, look, man, this to me is so cool. That little scary little nightmare red thing. I think that's so dope. I'm a little low on ammo now, but as I start to spin up, you know, look, and I grab the white ammo and I get my stuff refilled, right? Look how quickly, I mean, boom, reload. Don't even have to reload. Don't even have to actually reload it, right? So even when you fire at the hip, and of course when you finish the catalyst, you get those orbs, which is awesome. You'll notice here that the boss is shielded. I actually have to kill every single enemy in order for me to get to damage him. So just those little mechanics that you guys have to remember. All right. So you're gonna have, like, you know, falling, dropping in here kind of frequently here. And that's one part of the nightmare, the drag. Now I'm gonna do my kind of slide reload here. That is a headshot, sir. I'm sorry, precision shot. Right, and all these guys are going to spawn here. They really increase the damage output for this, I think. I mean, guys, look at that damage. So now most of the enemies are defeated, and I actually now am able to damage this boss. So I'm going to kind of throw 6 here. Oh, he disappeared. Where did he go? Where did he go? Oh, he's trying to hide. Oh, you're shielding your friends. Okay. You know what? Let me make this easier on myself. Pop that super. Gotta love that Arc Strider, man. Arc Strider, I think, is one of the funnest, most underrated supers in the game. I think it does so well when you're, you know, in Crucible. I think it does really well when you're in Gambit. I feel like it does the most damage to the Taken. Yo, that guy was supposed to be protected by that shield and wasn't. Yes. Okay. So now I got the cache code. All the enemies are defeated, and this was the first lost sector. So these lost sectors are actually very, very different than what they used to be. So keep that in mind as you're playing. You get a lot more lores, and what the lores do for you is they give you a lot of information pertaining to the story. I really enjoy the lores a lot because it does give you a good bit of kind of backstory. I'm one of those people that, because I enjoy Destiny so much, I am curious on, you know, where things, I guess, you know, where things originated from and where you know, where we've come from. You know, in Nessus, there's a lot of stories about, you know, the, I guess they call it the Golden Age, or the time that's, you know, basically now. You know, I just find it really interesting, you know. A good storyline will attract anybody, so... you know, so I hope you guys are enjoying this gameplay so far. As you can see, they did work a good bit with trying to give you some really, really cool aesthetics for the moon. Obviously, some stuff has changed, and some of the original stuff has not. The way that they situated the entrances and exits, I felt like could have been just a tad bit better. But again, I don't want to sound very critical because I am thoroughly enjoying this destination. So, you know, again, you know, just because coming from someone, this is obviously coming from someone that played Destiny 1 so much, you know, and it's a shame because the changes that they did do kind of makes the moon a bit harder to navigate than most planets. I mean, most of the planets that I visited, most of the destinations, you know, I'm pretty much able to find my way around. But even though I've been playing on the moon for so long now, I've been playing, you know, it's only been about a week, not even. You know, because I've you know, played on the moon so much, there's still a lot of things that I'm doing that I'm learning. So, you know, this area should seem a little familiar, and the old drop point, the old spawn point, I guess you could call it, was actually right out there. That was the old spawn point. So now, because Eris is over here, Eris Morn, they actually, you know, changed it, which I think is cool. I don't have any issues with it. I do enjoy playing in this section, in the Sorrows Harbor, and the reason why I like playing in that section is because there's a shit ton of hive over there, and it actually shows you the Scarlet Keep, which is the newer part of the moon, which obviously is not associated with Destiny 1, but it shows you, I mean, look at that. I just think, again, the attention to detail is superb, and in there, you know, lies a few strikes, so you can actually see it when you do a strike that's particularly on the moon, right? You know, I guess I could show you guys a little bit of the Scarlet Keep here. I did address a lot of the things that I wanted to talk to you about. We talked about the Lost Sectors, we did talk about the Catalysts, and we talked about the finishers. And some of the finishers, they do vary. So the Hunters, so far I have 2, and I believe you get different finishers. As a good friend of mine, Deus, kind of pointed out to me a few days ago, you are going to be able to get different types of finishers for different characters. So depending on what they are is going to determine, you know, how cool they look, I guess, you know. So but I am enjoying them, and again, I think that if they would have kind of made it so that you can get super energy, I think it would have been much better. And as you can see, guys, it takes a really long time for your super to charge, even with those assisting orbs that you get. I think that's something that Destiny should, that Bungie should fix, but, you know, time will tell. It is still early. So we can't kind of, like, you know, automatically, dismiss certain things, right? So yeah, this is the Red Keep. This is the Scarlet Keep, rather. As you can see, that top of that tower is where you go in one of your first strikes to fight a particular boss. I'm not going to go into who that is right now because I don't want to ruin it if you haven't played it, and I also want you guys to kind of maintain that surprise. The strikes have actually gotten harder. They've gotten a lot longer than traditionally. And again, I think that is a good thing, but, you know, if you are playing this, just kind of make sure that you're not busy in the next hour or two. For me, it does take a lot out of, you know, my daily schedule, and I don't say that as a bad thing, necessarily. I say that really because you have to bide your time and kind of budget your time accordingly. So let me take you guys over to the Hellmouth. I'm going to track this thing over here. And as you can see, I still have a ways to go with the campaign, and you should be doing this in order. So the first part would be you need a 800 light to finish, you need 810 for the second one, and then you need 830 for the last part. So just to kind of give you guys a basic idea, it is very easy to level up. As I've mentioned before, you're going to get a lot of those blue drops, you're going to get a lot of those same old legendary drops. You know, I am a little more, you know, Rodolero could tell you, I'm a little more obsessed with my hunter's appearance than I should be, and I'm actually, you know, I love kind of customizing the look of my character, especially because I feel like the hunters have such a cool look. I do still enjoy the way that the Titans look. I feel like they look like, you know, a bunch of resilient machines. I am really not crazy about the Warlock, you know, wardrobe that they have, and you shouldn't let any of that influence your desire to use them as characters, because I think they are incredible. But for right now, you know, to me, it's all about the hunters. I haven't played any other character, you know, and I swore to myself that I was going to use my Titan on the moon, but I ended up playing with my hunter, you know, last minute during the update, and I ended up just, you know, keeping it because I felt like it was just a better use of character here. Okay, I'm gonna try to see if I could do a really quick patrol. I really wanted to see if I could arrive at a VEX Gate, but I don't see any VEX Gates open for the time being, so it's a bit disappointing. I did want to show you guys how that looks and how the enemies kind of stack, because it is, you know, very, very interesting, for lack of a better term. I just want to make sure that I'm grabbing my materials here, because your materials are going to be used, you know, for a lot of things. Oh, actually, At the head of the Hellmouth, I can actually, well, you should be able to actually see it. It's very obvious when the VEX Gate opens. There's a whole bunch of lightning and electricity happening, so it's not like something you won't notice. That's why I'm trying to see if I can actually make it happen or not. But right now, it doesn't seem like it's gonna. Right now, it doesn't really seem like it's a possibility. So, oh, okay. So I actually discovered something new there. You know, and I'm glad that I'm kind of in this with you guys, so you guys can actually see how I'm navigating. This is usually the spot where it does spawn. There's a really high amount of enemies that do spawn here when they actually start the event. So I think it's very interesting, and it's non-stop action. So hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. I'm gonna see if I can entice these Vex to kind of join us here. Oh gosh. Yep, so, you know, trying to get this catalyst, just trying to get my kills. And remember, you can still collect all of these chassis components to give to Ikora, and then she can... I'll show you guys actually what that looks like in a few minutes, just so you guys can see what I mean. I'm trying to make sure that I don't see anything pertaining to the Gate Lord's Eye, because I really don't want to miss it. Okay. Still in the process of, you know, dismantling a lot of gears, guys. So, you know, just make sure that you're staying consistent in that, because when you don't, it really, really starts to stack up. All right. Let me show you guys this weapon very quickly, the Arc Logic. All right. So this is a really cool weapon to me. It's an auto rifle, 44 in the magazine, and it got a ton of reserves, right? So it's really good. Not a lot of perks on this particular roll, but I really find that this auto rifle is extremely smooth. And again, I kind of mentioned before that it reminds me of the Honey Badger from Call of Duty Ghosts. So I think it's really apropos for the moon here. I did get this pinnacle weapon from doing Vex offenses and from doing those little mini raids that you just saw me doing, but also they have drops from Ikora where you can assemble some of these weapons by gathering specific material, right? So right now an event is coming, a public event, and again, great job with Bungie for this, because events appear a lot more frequently now than they did before. I find myself waiting a lot less for events to happen. And when you trigger heroic events, which now vary by the type of activity, so they've really randomized a lot of the activities, which I think is awesome, because you have to do different things for different live events. But particularly, I notice a significant less waiting time for events, and the less waiting time you have, to me, the more likely you have multiple players who are actually appearing to help you, right? So as you can see, this particular auto rifle has a really high handle rate. It doesn't have a lot of recoil. It doesn't have, you know, I can kind of keep my reticle on for some precision shots here. The reload rate is actually pretty good. You know, this has easily become one of my more favorite auto rifles to use. And two added bonuses is, number one, it's arc, and arc is probably one of my favorite types of damage. And two, it has the barrier rounds, the anti-barrier rounds equipped to it. So the only thing that would make this, to me, like a godly roll would be explosive rounds, dragonfly, or both. But, you know, can't be greedy. Can't be greedy, you know, because they did, you know, this is a really, really good weapon, you know. So you can see I'm literally just holding down the trigger here to kind of make sure that I'm damaging continuously. You know, the shots are coming out pretty cool. I like the graphics with the bullets and stuff like that, you know, like it's kind of just pouring out of you know, the weapon here. So, you know, and then I think this one has ricochet rounds. So if you notice, I'm shooting it on the ground and it's ricocheting, which kind of, which adds a lot more damage and a lot more damage output when you have enemies who are, you know, trying to come behind you and stuff like that. So, all right, this is a bit of a quick event here. Obviously, you know, for this one, there's a different way to trigger the heroic part, you know, but not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. You know, since we have time, gents, ladies and gentlemen, let me take you guys to the menagerie. So, before the Season of the Undying actually took place, they added some updates to the Leviathan raid. So, there's an area that you can go to in Nessus that's called the Menagerie. Now, for this one, you would need 6 players, so it is a bit of a mini raid as well. And your recommended power would be 750. So I'm going to go ahead and do it and show you guys. Now, this particular one has modifiers. You've got Grenader, you've got Blackout, and then you've got Void Singe. So with that knowledge, you want to make sure that you're changing your super. So to me, I'm not a big fan of the Spectral Blades. I love the Night Stalker, and of course, if you're going to have your Night Stalker, you want to make sure that you equip the Orpheus rig. It is really important that you never ever forget that. I'm going to keep my loadout the same here. The only thing that I want to change is I want to change this to the rocket launcher because I have the masterworked version first. The Arc Logic is good because actually, you know what? Let me actually change this. I'm going to do... Oh, I have to delete this, actually. I'm going to change it to the Trackless Waste, and I'm going to change it... Since it's Arc, I'm going to roll out with my Monarch Bow. Or, you know what? Let me do the Graviton Lance. Ooh, the Graviton Lance is low. Crap. Man, I'm in a bit of a bind here because this would be really, really good to use. Let me just stick with the Monarch for now. Alright, so I switched my gear. I'm gonna kind of make sure, and I'm gonna go back. Now for this, they actually have different levels. They have the Menagerie Heroic. Oh, and I can actually do this. So this is different modifiers. If your fire team falls, everyone returns to orbit. I'm not ready for that. I'm gonna do it regular. I am nothing like my friend Ricky Maru, who likes to start from the highest tier. I just can't do it. I just don't have the testicular fortitude. Again, guys, hope you're enjoying what you're seeing so far. If you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to mention them in the comment section. Just want to take this opportunity to remind you to mash that subscribe button with all of your might. We really appreciate you tuning in, even if you're not tuning in right now. We appreciate you watching wherever you are in the world right now, whether it's morning, noon, or night. Just want to make sure, guys, if you have any specific requests, we're still honoring requests for specific games that you guys would like to see us cover in depth in our Let's Plays. Please make those desires known in the comment section, and post some likes. Just kind of things that we can improve on. And again, I really, really hope that you are enjoying the show. I certainly am. I am enjoying the play, and I am enjoying the kind of journey that I'm taking, just kind of discovering little things here and there. All right, so Night Stalker is a really, really great thing to use because that this part of the super, when you actually shoot it, you... Wait, what does it say? Yeah, so void anchors fire from it, wait for prey. And those anchors have increased range and last long. And then what happens is with the Orpheus rig that I equipped here, it basically it grants deadfall energy. Oh, I got a lot of stuff over here. I should actually... I thought I had a flag here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and masterwork this because I need some Isorbs. Let's see if I have enough. Oh, I do have enough. Beautiful. And it ups the reload speed so beautifully. Oh, I am in tears. Very quickly. It started already. So this is all timed activity here. Oh wow, you get reloads on kills. I did not know that. That is awesome. This is all timed activity, and it's the meter is like the meter for your activity is measured by on the left lever. And what you're doing is basically you're doing stuff to impress Callus, basically. So this one is really, really good too. I don't know where I put... Oh, okay. So you gotta... This is the lamp lighting here. So you grab these things and then boom, you deposit, and then you have to light all those lamps before a certain, I believe, a certain time. So Some of this is a little easier, but you know, the Vex are still very resilient. So as you can see, you know, and you know, gotta love those orbs. That orb creation is key. You know, and I was really not a fan before of SMGs, but I really gotta tell you, this particular trackless waste, and if you get a role that works for you, this particular role is just so great. Look at all those orbs, dude. This particular role to me is just so awesome. You know, it had the reload, and again, I like reload a little more. I prioritize that. Damn. I prioritize reload because I feel that, you know, I'm not the most accurate shooter. So my reloads I really focus on, because as soon as I get my full mag, it means the difference between, you know, getting enemies down and not. You know, so that's just something that if you know the kind of player you are, you know, it is really beneficial. So, you know, just be a little, you know, to me, it just makes sense that you're more kind of thinking about the kind of player you are. All right. So after this event, you have to follow your team to the next area. So I thoroughly enjoy the Menagerie. I think it's a really cool game type. When I exit this, or you know, when I finish it, I will show you how the Menagerie actually works on a more molecular level with your chalice. Your chalice of opulence is basically a it's a thing to help you. It's basically a chest. It's a little more complicated, but there's little things that you get that kind of help you modify your gear. It helps you kind of customize the kind of drops that you get. So, you know, a lot of mechanics to this game, guys, and you know, this is one of the reasons why I like to do these streams, because it gives you a lot of information, and a lot of this stuff, guys, I cannot take credit for knowing. A lot of this stuff I'm researching, and I'm looking at a lot of other channels to get my information, because, you know, this is it's the community. You know, the Destiny community is, you know, a little different. You know, there's a lot of things that go ahead and shoot my arrow at him, and you see how all of these, look at now my super meter charging up like crazy. Okay, I got more than half. Okay, I've got let me do a quick finisher here to show off. Look at my super meter. Look at all this. Look at all this. This is beautiful. And because of that, my super meter charged very quickly, and I'm able to, you know, do all these orbs. Now, this is called the gauntlet. Basically, the point, keep moving. And if you don't, you know, if the time runs out, you die. So as soon as you go through those little rings, I'm not crazy about this, but I know that this is strictly from the Leviathan raid. This is something a little easier for hunters to do because they have that triple jump, I think. But, you know, if you're a Titan or if you're a Warlock and you have that float thing, I think the best kind of jump for you to use would be the strafe lift. I feel that the strafe lift is a little more, it's much, much better, because it, you know, and again, when you fall through, you die, and, you know, whatever. So you got to keep moving. We have a few seconds, and that stupid little light thing is the finish line. Somebody died at the finish line. That sucks. And of course, you get a completed gauntlet bonus here. All right, and then you have to fight another boss. You're gonna kind of put another thing here. I'll throw a grenade. Yes. Okay. Oh gosh, I'm gonna die. Oh, I knew it. I didn't even get a chance to resurrect him. Dang it. Yeah, so, again, this is really high-paced action. I should have probably named this, you know, Let's Play with the Vex instead of playing on the moon. But that's all good. Unfortunately, my friends are not resurrecting me, and that's okay. Maybe we have a lucky... thank you so much, sir. Greatly appreciated. This thing still ain't dead, huh? Okay. Double tap that reload, and then, yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and use my bow for this one. This is one of my favorite... Oh, crap. This is my absolute favorite weapon. This is my #1 favorite weapon, the Monarch bow. This I got from doing some Black Armory grinds. Speaking of Black Armory, they actually changed the Black Armory a good bit. I would argue that they made it worse, but I'm not gonna complain. Because I think that, again, Oh wow, I died. I got caught on fire. Okay. Yeah, this thing is a little challenging. You know, once you touch that little fire thing, you get dead, basically. Yeah. I think everyone has to do it. Oh, and then when you come out, you can actually kill enemies. So boom, my Monarch bow does extra damage because it fires poison arrows. And, you know, particularly with precision hits, you get more of a bonus damage. So that little purple stuff you see, that's them being poisoned. I mean, I know, how do you poison a robot? Sounds really weird, but you don't necessarily have to get precision shots to actually get the hit bonus, but it helps. You know, precision shots are probably the only way to go, honestly. What I really like about the menagerie is that your loot that you get is actually pretty significant. So the amount, whatever you do get in when you finish it, it's actually pretty significant, I think. And you know, one thing I did forget to mention is that when you do get loot, guys, your loot, your loot is always going to drop high. So whatever your light level is, you know, my light level is anywhere from 914 to 915. Anything that you get, which again, hats off to Bungie for this, anything that you get is gonna drop really high. So it's a really good thing to have now. You know, some of these you can fail. Well, I don't want to say fail, but some of them you don't have to do really well in for you to actually advance. Oh, look at that! I got an arm and a leg VEX chassis components bonus for Ikora. Definitely going to show you guys that. So something like that is going to guarantee that your loot drops are going to be, you know, really high. So as soon as you reach 900 light, they make it a little more challenging for you to get those really high loot drops. But the good thing is that, again, this incentivizing that, you know, that they do to make sure that, you know, that number one, you're playing the game, but also that you're actually reaping the benefits of certain things. There's also other things that they've adjusted to. So, for example, when I look under quest, something like where is it? The Wish Ender. I had to do the raid before, but now they're actually offering it to you when you do the Shattered Throne. And it's the same concept with the Truth. All I have to do is defeat this particular boss, Aranak. I doubt he's going to be in this one, but I hope he is. Because, well, actually, no. I think depending on the week, they pretty much, what do you call it? Like, each week is going to determine what boss that you fight in the menagerie. So this week, since it's VEX, it's going to be a VEX boss. If it's Hive, then you fight a Hive boss and stuff like that. Again, that's something I learned actually very recently, because I didn't, I wasn't playing this a lot, you know, in particular. Really, because a lot of it was a little obscure for me to understand. But as I, you know, did some research and now I'm kind of presenting it to you guys, it's just a little better. What I'll do for the next stream is I'll break down how the Season of Opulence works, because technically we're still there, we're still in it. So a lot of the stuff that you would have done during that season, you still can do it. You can still do the Leviathan raid and get, you know, a shit ton of rewards from your looting from the raid and stuff like that. I haven't done the raid yet, unfortunately, but, you know, I will. I guess you could say I'm waiting for the opportune time. Raids aren't something that I go into lightly. I did do, well, unfortunately I did it on my Xbox and not here. I did do the Last Wish raid, and it was interesting. It was challenging, but with my Celestial Nighthawk, it made, you know, the Celestial Nighthawk made it so easy. I mean, it was crazy. It was just absolutely crazy. You know, really big shout out to the Hunters, man, because the Hunters to me are like the best, honestly. Oh, another Void Cranium. So the Void Craniums are used to destroy those little crystals here, and you have to destroy, you know, all of them in order for you to advance. So, you know, again, this part is, you know, home to a lot of mechanics. So, you know, and you get the void cranium crystals from these guys, the Minotaurs. Okay, I think there's one left. So remember, when they do have modifiers, guys, that also applies to you as well. It also applies to damage output, like, you know, so for this one, Void is the damage output that's weak, so anytime you shoot someone with Void, it does more damage, but vice versa. Yes, another Prime Engram, that's awesome. But also vice versa, guys. You know, any person that does the modifier damage to you, so any void damage, it still doubles for us. So just keep that in mind, because that's something I just never thought about. And then when you're doing certain strikes or certain events and there's a modifier in it, you're wondering why you're having such a hard time. You know, like depending on the modifier for each strike is really going to determine how well you're gonna, or how fast, I should say, how well and how fast you're gonna complete said strike. So keep that in mind. You know, there's a lot of things that happens that, you know, I don't think about. Oh, wait, is someone gonna do it? Beautiful. Do I need it? No, I don't need it. Still got enough ammo here. Rocking the Monarch bow. Alright, so this one's different. So this room is different. In order for you to not die, you gotta stay in this thing, Touch of Sky. So this is very similar to the Blind Well. We have seen Blind Well in previous streams. If you haven't, please check it out. If you would like to see more Blind Well, feel free to request that. But I did have a lot of Blind Well. Oh, so I stand corrected. I did do a good amount of Blind Well with my Titan. You know, it was really perfect for those Dreaming City bounties that I get, and that has changed a little bit. You know, they're still there. You can still do them, but it's just different in the way that they actually have it executed. So they're supposed to change it, I think, once a week, every Tuesday, but since the Season of the Undying has taken place, it's just very different from what we normally did. Alright, so when you leave here, you get damaged, and then you gotta kind of go over here. Man, I keep missing. I'm usually really good with this bow. This bow is good because it has like a snap. Once it lights up very briefly and you pull it and you can shoot it, it actually the shot when you hit, it poisons. So that purple stuff you're seeing, and then they disintegrate. Most of this is one hit. You know, obviously if you have an enemy that's shielded and stuff like that, it's not the case. But alright, I'm gonna go ahead and shoot that there. Oh man, so no one... I should have shot it in the other area. It says 450 light recover. That's interesting. I don't know what that is. Ah, thank you, my friend. You, sir, are a gentleman and a scholar. I just spawned. How did I just die immediately, dude? That's another thing Bungie needs to fix. That overshield for spawn protection, that needs to be a little more. Oh man, he's using the last wish. I want that so bad. Uh-oh. People are dying around us. Not good. So that means it is up to us to resurrect. Come on, guys. Very cool. So I guess we passed this part. I don't know what this is. Oh, okay. Ooh, proceed to your final trial. Awesome sauce. Yeah, I said awesome sauce. I put awesome sauce on my chicken every day. What of it? Kidding. Not kidding. Alright. I don't know where we go to next. I usually just follow the leader. I think they... Is it this way? Oh, some loot still. What I really do love about the Menagerie too, another really cool thing, is that when you are finished, they give you like a full 3 to 5 minutes to recover all your stuff and for you to gather your loot, you know, which is really good because sometimes, like, if I don't open the chest at the end, you know, in certain activities, if you don't open the chest at the end, you don't get it. So, you know, something to think about. The Royal Theater. I'm really hoping that it's the boss that I'm looking for. If I could get that truth, that would be great. People in Crucible have been massacring me. Crucible and Gambit, because I think you could track with the truth, but it's like a guaranteed hit. What is that? Oh no, it's a Vex boss, damn it. Yes. Rallying to the flag always guarantees that you are going to max out with your ammo and that you are going to max out with your super. Alright. So obviously, you can't do anything to his barrier, right? So what do you have to do? Destroy the barrier. Look at that. I really love the bow and arrows in this game. Unfortunately, I do feel that the bow and arrow and hand cannons and stuff like that are... Oh my god. So that's the barrier you gotta watch out for, right? And you have to make sure it doesn't hit you because it kills you automatically. Damn it. His name is Hasapico. Wow. That sounds like something. So those wall barriers you really have to watch out for, so you have to move between them as best as you can. Do not let any part of it touch you. Giggity. I just died from spawning. Oh, I do not want to let the anger swell in me. Damn, we only... Shoot, okay. I thought we had him down a whole lot more than that. All to the good. But I did say that if you have a Vex, whatever, that you would more than likely have a Vex boss. So I was correct. Look at this. Not going to use my thing yet. Oh, Jesus. That was close. What is he doing? I don't know what that is. I don't know what this dude is about to do. Whoa. Alright, one rocket left. Good luck. I think we got him. I think. Whoa, whoa, whoa. How do I escape this one? No. Oh, dang it. Did we get him? Oh, we did. Okay, very cool. Very cool. Try to make sure that you do this, you know... Wow, that's funny. When you do this with the menagerie, try to do it... Invoke your chalice's power. Oh, in order to actually get the rewards, you need a chalice. Chalice requires wounds. Slot runes into your... Okay, I guess... Or maybe that's why they give you the time to do it. So when you go to quests, you should have this already. If you're, I mean, most of you, you know, would have it. An auspicious gift, so details, and then you could kind of. That is so weird. Oh, so you customize your rewards. Ah, I see. So I want submachine guns here, and what is this? Like this. Yeah. Try that. So, I thought... That is so weird. I thought I had this already. I guess not. So, I guess I didn't get much. I got 2 cloaks, right? What did I get? I mean, I got a bunch of crap. Which is, you know, which is fine. 908, 909. Look at that. Okay. The botheration. Oh, that's a 910. Ooh, do I have enough? I do! Awesome! I don't mind spending for that, you know? I don't mind spending my, you know, my what do you call it? My upgrade module. I feel like the upgrade modules are decently priced for what they are. I think it's a lot better than enhancement cores. My opinion. You guys may think different. So good. All right, we gotta. So let me show you something really cool about this customization thing, right? Again, I told you guys that I am a customization hoarder, right? So you guys see this tangled web cloak, right? And same thing goes, you can still add it with the armor 2.0, you can still upgrade it. I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to wait until, I'd like to wait until I'm closer to 960 because I know that it caps at 960. I would rather wait to upgrade my armor until I have that top light, right? So if you go down, by the way, guys, you have to go down for appearance to show you what it actually looks like. So when you press down on the D-pad, you can actually go here and change how it looks completely with the cloaks that they had from other seasons. So I really like the Narrow Terra Kyote cloak, and if you apply it here, it takes on the actual appearance of the cloak itself. So you really can have any cloak that you want as long as it's a legendary, and you can change its appearance to really match how you want it to match. So I personally love this. I think this is such an awesome thing that Bungie did, and I like, you know, again, I am so about customization. You know, I really enjoy being able to customize and things like that because it really makes the game, to me, you know, it makes the game even more enjoyable. And now my hunter looks even cooler. So, you know, you guys kind of saw the, what are you doing? You guys kind of saw, and I'm still in the same area. So you guys kind of saw, you know, the way that my hunter was looking when I first started. And obviously when you get more gear and things like that, you can make it look even better. And the same thing goes for helmets and chest pieces and things like that, as long as it's legendary, right? So this substitutional alloy, I personally do like the way that this looks. To me, it looks like a kind of like a transformer vest kind of thing. But again, if you go down to appearance, you could do the same thing where you could have it look like the vest of Optimacy, which I think looks pretty cool. You could have it look like the Vanguard Dare vest, which looks amazing. I think I'm going to put that one on it. And you can have it look like the Narrow Terra Kyote vest, which is basically goes with the cape. I personally like the Vanguard Dare vest, so I'm going to put this on there. I think it looks really, really cool. And you can actually bring it back to its original, you know, to its original, what do you call it? Appearance. So you know, if you have slots here, you could equip little things here and there where it doesn't, you know, take. And again, all of these things, you'll see it on the right that it actually increases some of the stats. For example, your if you have discipline goes up if you equip the grenade mod. Recovery will go up. Obviously, I can't use recovery now because I don't have enough energy. The resilience mod actually goes up, which I'll probably use to increase. But obviously, if you use that, you're not going to have any energy left to do anything else. And the really, really good thing about this, which I thought was awesome that Bungie did, is that you don't need to spend any money or any kind of material to increase or to apply some of these things to the armor as well. So I think it actually, you know, really kind of gives you a good idea. I'm sorry, it gives you good incentive to actually, you know, use it. You use your particular materials so far, right? So, you know, so I hope you guys really enjoyed this. I hope that this was as informative as possible because this is a lot of information and I know that this is a lot to digest. Let's see if we could kind of finish things off here with another appearance on the moon. What I'm really trying to see is if I could show you guys that quick kind of VEX invasion kind of thing. I think it's very interesting, you know, because a lot of the things that you are doing is focusing on the hive. It's focusing on the VEX. So it's you know, I think it's really, really cool. I thoroughly enjoy fighting. They're probably my favorite enemies to fight. I cannot stand the Scorn. I mean, I hate them with a passion. They, to me, are not just challenging, but just, you know, to me, they're not fun to fight at all. I don't know. So I'm going to change this. Fast reload. What is this? Sidearms, hand cannons. I thought I could actually add something to this. So, see, for this, ooh, I don't have enhancement prisms. Wow, look at that. So enhancement prisms are actually new. I'm glad that I actually came here. So enhancement prisms are the new, I guess you could call them the new enhancement cores. Those cost a lot. So for the Orpheus rig that I have, this particular role, it came with very high energy already. In order for me to upgrade it further, I think you would upgrade it maybe to a 9 or a 10. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that if you do upgrade it all the way, that it does become masterworked, but I'm not too sure because I haven't gotten that far, frankly. So, but that doesn't, you know, that doesn't really mean, you know, that it won't. Oh, look at that, another upgrade. So I'm going to go ahead and upgrade that. I know that I kind of used the upgrade module, but that's okay, because I want to make sure that my light level is actually as high as can be. You know, so as you can see, ooh, I got a Red Moon Phantom Vest. I'm gonna dismantle that, even though I love the appearance. You know, so this is what, you know, this is what we have so far. I'm gonna go back to my original thing here. What did I have here? I had the the 908 here. This and the I thought I had something higher. Oh, okay, so it's the Sweet Business that I have then. So with the Sweet Business, I'm a little under 915. All right, that's not bad. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and rock the Cerberus. I'm going to rock the Cerberus so this way, you know, we can kind of get that catalyst. Very excited to see what that catalyst actually looks like. Let's see if we can kind of trigger an event here with the VEX. I forgot what they call it, actually. What do they call it? Invasion? Yeah, invasion zone. So I am... Yeah, so the invasion zone is here. Sole divisive incursions targeting this area could strike guardians. Are advised to remain on high alert. Huh, interesting. So I'm assuming that it is, you know, that it is random. So, you know, it's still a good look. You know, obviously, since I've spent some glimmer, I have some glimmer to spare. Okay, so... Yeah, this is a really fast shooting gun. I love it. Precision shot, baby. And a quick reload speed. Cannot get mad at that. And, of course, it has the... And if I hold it, it has unstoppable shot. I feel like this doesn't do as much damage as it should. Oh wow, it does do it actually. If you could see it, his shield was significantly lowered actually. Let me kind of show you guys that again. Let me hold it. Let me see. Wow, that was a significant precision shot, man. That if you hold the aim, you have unstoppable shot. You do a pretty decent amount of damage. Okay, that's not bad. I love that ability because it suppresses their ability and it kind of like, you know, messes them up a little bit. Let me see if I can track him. No biggie. Where are you, you dastardly fool? Alright guys, well, I guess I'm going to end here. I hope you guys have really enjoyed this session, and I hope that you found it informative. You know, I also hope that you will join me in our Destiny universe. You can add me. I am on both PSN and Xbox as Akivius X. My name is Akivius X on Xbox and PSN. That is AKIEVIUS letter X. AKIEVIUS letter X. Akivius X. So feel free to add me. You know, I'll be more than happy to do some raids, some strikes, some Crucible, some Nightfalls. When I return with another stream, I definitely want to do a Nightfall, and I'm trying to see if I could squeeze a raid very soon, because I need to step my raid game up, and the loot that we're getting now from raids are going to be significantly higher, and the amount of stuff that we're going to, you know, the amount of experience that you get from raids. Whoa, who is this? The amount of experience that you get from raids is probably going to be very significant. So when you do get experience, it's still measured the same way it was as if you were like level 1 to level 50. And in order for you to redeem your rewards, you go to your menu and your tracker, and you're going to track seasons. And right now I am almost going to be up to season rank 23 in a few kills, I guess. And then I will be able to claim my rewards. Once again, guys, mash that subscribe button, mash that like button, reach out to us if you have any kind of requests, and we will catch you on the flippity flip. Once again, this is Seth Garbage reporting live from Pink Titan Channel. Hope you guys enjoyed yourselves.